Theory: the thermal exhaust port was never a flaw, oversight, or weakness of the Death Star. It was a purposely planned fail-kill switch by a larger plan of the rebellion that would be overlooked by the Empire. Galen Erso was a scientist and a key designer of the Death Star. Director Orson Krennic was in charge of the security of the Death Star project and was a friend of Galen Erso. Krennic brought Galen on board of the Death Star project. In my theory, both Erso and Krennic are possible old friends, or knew, or had some form of connection to Mon Mothma and Bail Organa. All of these characters, apart from Mon Mothma, could be from, or connected to the planet Alderaan. We don't know that Bail Organa is for sure. But my theory could also place the Ersos and Krennic from Alderaan. Krennic has convinced the Empire that his friend Galen is the right person for the job. Vader does not see eye to eye with Krennic. Takes convincing. And feels something is not right. Galen leaves, or is taken away from his family when Jyn Erso is still a young girl, to work and complete the Death Star in secret and seclusion. All of this being a bigger, longer plan of Krennic, Mon Mothma, Organa, and Galen himself. Galen, having ties to or a connection to either Mon Mothma or Organa, is really eyes or a mole for the Galactic Federation of Free Alliances. The rebels. Possibly Krennic as well. Hence the convincing of Galen being the right person for the job by Krennic for the Death Star. During the years of building the Death Star, Galen designed his own fail switch, or vulnerable spot in the Death Star, so slight and secretive, that no one would have ever noticed during the construction. That is now known as the thermal exhaust port. The Death Star plans, that were stolen by the rebels and mentioned in the crawl of Episode 4, A New Hope, were not just blueprints to the Death Star, where they were able to figure out and find a weakness and flaw in the weapon system, but rather specific plans on this purposely designed fail switch from Galen Erso. Jyn Erso, Galen's daughter, was needed to steal these plans as Mothma and Organa knew that she would be the only person Galen would know and trust to give his fail switch plans to after the years of being in seclusion. Hence Jyn's importance to the movie and why they go through such lengths and risk in breaking her out. Vader learns of Galen Erso's and, maybe, Krennic's betrayal after successfully getting the secret fail switch plan to his daughter. Vader now knows that there might be a weakness to the Death Star, but has no way of knowing what, or where it is, even after trying to beat and torture it out of Galen. This is why these plans are so important. So important that Vader actually goes after them physically himself in the movie, A New Hope. It is not the potential of finding a weakness in the Death Star from its blueprints. It is the fact that there is a weakness with the Death Star, purposely planned and now in the hands of the rebels. To sum up, the thermal exhaust port was never a flaw, oversight, or weakness of the Death Star, but a purposely planned fail-kill switch by a larger plan of the rebellion that would be overlooked by the Empire. This theory would also put to rest the almost 40 years of ongoing jokes made about the destruction of the Death Star, its silly weakness that was overlooked, and all the jokes about the thermal exhaust port. It was never a flaw in the story, or a flaw of the Death Star. The Death Star was secretly designed that way. What do you think? What are your thoughts or opinions on this theory? Do you have your own ideas on the movie Rogue One? Please let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching.